I'm going to show you a technique that will let you make columns in design. So you can see here I've got a Roman temple that's got lots and lots of columns. So every column, when you look at it, has got an area where part of it has been taken out. So it's got a recess where part of this column's been taken out. So let's have a look at how to make one column. So over here you'll see I've got a blank working space. Now you'll notice that I can add a column or a cylinder as a whole, as a shape, or a cylinder as a whole. So I'm going to start off by adding a cylinder as a shape, a solid shape there. So you'll see up here when I click on it, it says solid or it says whole over here. And what I'm going to do first of all is make this taller. So I'm going to click here, and instead of being 20mm tall, I'm going to make it 100mm tall. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another shape. Now I could get a cylinder and turn it into a hole, but I'm actually just going to get a hole there and put it on the screen. And I'm going to make this hole the same height. So I'm going to click here and then change that to 100, just like the other one. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it much narrower. So these are going to be the holes that are missing at the edge of the column where it looks like it's been sculpted. So if I click here in the bottom right, this diagonal area, and I'm going to change this to, let's say, 2mm instead of 20, and change this one to 2mm as well instead of 20. Now what I want to do is I want to just get hold of this with my mouse and just move it so that it's on the edge of the column, and I want it so it's slightly sticking out. So I'm just going to use my right mouse button and move above it to make sure that it's part in, part out. And what I can also do is I could click on it, and then I can use my mouse, I can use my arrows on my keyboard to move it further in if I want to, just so that it's definitely half in and half out. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on it again, and then I'm going to copy it. I'm going to come up here into this top right and copy it and then paste it. And now that I've pasted it, I'm going to use my arrow keys just to move it across. I'm using my left hand arrow key there, and I want it just sticking out of the edge on the other side. So I'm going to move that backwards and forwards so that I'm quite happy with it. Let's just move this around and just have a look, make sure that it's partly sticking out. Yep, that's good. And so what I want is another one. I want to keep adding them and then moving them to the edge. So you'll see that I've already copied it, so I don't need to copy it every time. I can just paste again. So now that I've pasted again, I can take my new shape and I can move my new shape and move that to the edge there, so that that's just on the edge there. And what I would do is, because I'm speeding this up a little bit, but what I would do is go check that that's half in, half out. But I'm just going to hurry up through here and go and add another one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this video now and continue so that I've got holes at the edge of my column all the way around. Okay, so you can see that now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I've gone round and I've put columns in the gaps. So this is my last one that I've just pasted, and I've clicked on it. So I'm just going to use my arrow keys to move this one around as well. So you'll see that when I press my arrow keys, I can start to move it, and then I want it to go into this shape here. So I've nearly finished. Just want to move it so that it's half in and half out of there, so that we can see it. Okay, so if I click here now, you'll see that these holes are half in, half out. So what I need to do now is combine this into one shape. So what I'm going to do that is I'm going to click over here and drag all the way around and let go when I've selected everything. And now I'm going to go to this button up here that's called the group button, and if I click that, then it will have a bit of a think, and then everything starts to behave as one shape. So I click somewhere else to get rid of these blue lines, and you'll see now I've got a column that's one shape. Now it's orange. I don't really want an orange column. I might want it to look like marble, so I can click on it and go to this orange colour and maybe change it over there for grey or for white. So what I'm ready to do now is I can make more copies of this if I want. Maybe I've got a box on the floor, a shape on the floor, which is like the base of the temple. But what I can do now is I can click on this, and then I can copy this and start to paste this and start to move this onto the screen so that I've got more than one. So let's just do that with a few of them. So I'm going to paste a few of these around so that we've got these shapes that are on the screen. So let's just get 4 of these now, and then what we're going to do is we're going to line these up. Okay, so I've got my 4 columns here, and what I'm going to do is roughly put them together in a line at the back here, so I want them to go along in a line. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and drag around all of them to select all of them, and I want to use the align tool. So I'm going to come over here and click the align tool, and I'm going to, if you just move this around, you'll see what will happen there. So I've used this tool here. If I just take that away and then just show you that again, then if you click the wrong one, it will align them in a different way. But then what you can do is you could just click your undo button, and then you can have another go at it again. So sometimes it's easy to get the wrong button, but you can just see in the yellow where they will be aligned, where they will be moved to. So I'm just going to do that and move them to there. Okay, so that's the back row of my temple there. So what I could do now if I wanted to is I could copy that, and then I could paste that, and then move the new row that I've just made forward like this. So from here you can see how you can start to actually make all your temples so that you make all of them match up. So I've now got the columns all ready for my temple, as you can see that I made in this design. So in this design, of course, I've used this shape, the box for the floor, I've used the roof here, and then I've used another box here below the roof, and then you'll also see that I've used some text. So we'll look at that in a different video.